so you'll have to accept the recording. Wonderful, thank you. And so once again, I'll introduce myself. I am Juliette Cox. I work at the Child and Family Policy Institute of California, and formerly I worked for many years in Tulare County. So yay, Tulare County, glad to have you here today. We are the organization that works with the California Department of Social Services to administer the YEP program on behalf of the state of California and in partnership with counties across California. So we're really glad to be here today. We're going to give an overview of the Youth Engagement Project, kind of give you a little bit of a history and some of the things that have been occurring with the YEP program since its inception, and then really talk about some ideas we have for a kind of a soft relaunch of the program that we'll be heading toward in July, with some enhancements for the program from the lessons we've learned over time, trying to make the program work as best as possible for as many counties as possible, as we know that youth engagement is something that Child Welfare Services is working very hard to strengthen across the state of California. So go ahead and move to the next slide, Andrea. So first and foremost, it sounds, there's a few folks who are here who probably are familiar with YEP, but a lot of folks, I don't recognize your names or know that you've been involved with YEP in the past. So this is really glad you're here today to learn more about YEP. The Youth Engagement Project, as I mentioned before, is a partnership between our organization and CDSS with the intent of improving child welfare policies, programs, and practices by building the capacity for youth engagement at both the state level and the local level. So YEP really works to bring together counties, the state, and young people, current or former foster youth, to provide insight into how child welfare services can engage youth in their local and statewide work to improve the work they're doing to serve their population. So the YEP program provides funding and support to the counties so that you can engage current and former foster youth in local projects that are designed to strengthen your child welfare systems. While there's youth engagement in all sorts of ways throughout the state of California and Child Welfare Services, the youth that are involved in the Youth Engagement Project are called YEP ambassadors. So we call them our YEP ambassadors, and they engage with local folks, county coordinators, in a variety of ways, which we'll talk about on the next slide. So again, YEP has been around for a number of years. We've been really pleased to work in partnership with CDSS to administer this program. We've worked with a number of counties to do a lot of different local and statewide projects. Some of the examples here, and this is by no means a complete list of all the things that YEP has done, but some of the things that have been really successful for YEP have been outreach efforts to increase resource family homes for teens. As folks know, some years back, when we moved away from foster homes to resource family homes, there was an opportunity to really start strengthening the number of family homes we could bring into child welfare services to serve our youth. And in Stanislaus County, they had the idea that to strengthen how many homes they could recruit that would take teens, but kind of lifting the veil about what it's like to work with foster youth who are teenagers. And so they created a presentation, an outreach presentation, where they kind of went on a road show with their folks who were doing recruitment to talk to potential and current foster homes or resource family homes about taking in teens, right? And so what they found through this project, and they eventually recorded it because during COVID and such, there wasn't a lot of ability to go out and do road shows. And so they provided kind of a little video about being a resource family home for teens. And what they found is they were extremely successful in increasing the number of resource family homes in their county that were available to take teenage placement, which is definitely a great benefit to that county. A lot of counties who've been in YEP, one of the things about YEP that's fabulous is that we bring counties together to share information about how they're doing youth engagement locally. When Stanislaus showcased what they had been doing with resource family home recruitment for teenagers. A lot of counties that were in YEP decided, hey, we could do that too. And so they learned from that and brought those ideas into in-house for their county as well. Some of the things that YEP has also done is created training for social workers, specifically on how to best engage youth. What are some youth engagement strategies that social workers can use when they're working with young people in foster care? They have done, Sacramento County has done a lot of great work in the past few years on increasing the level of engagement in the independent living program by utilizing a YEP ambassador to help them design their outreach materials, to help them set up informational nights that were really fun and youth focused and really engaging to bring youth in. And so through those efforts, they were able to definitely ratchet up the number of youth that they had participating in their county and their ILP program. And then, in addition to numerous projects that have been done at the local level that have been repeated across a lot of different counties, there is opportunity for YEP ambassadors to participate not only in those local projects, but also in statewide policy and program development work groups. And so some of the more recent examples were when we had YEP ambassadors participating in a statewide work group that was focused on child and family teaming, and then child and family team specifically, how do we make or let youth know what their role is in CFTs, what their rights are, what CFTs are there for, what it can do for them, and such a great opportunity for youth to be part of that statewide work group and inform how information was set up and disseminated back out to counties and to youth specifically. There was actually a brochure and a video created at the state level with input from these YEP ambassadors to specifically be geared toward young people in the foster care system. So great examples of some of the things that YEP has done in the past. So currently, counties that participate in YEP, and we have a number of counties participating in YEP, and we'd love to have a lot more, counties apply to participate with YEP. We have them fill out a simple application to kind of let us know, what is it about youth engagement that you're trying to strengthen in your county? And then CFPIC, the YEP program here, we provide counties with funding. Should they want it. We have some counties who are participating in YEP who aren't receiving funding, but receive still the same level of support from us that other counties do. They just don't have the financing. So YEP provides counties who want it funding, approximately $5,000 per county. We have a few counties that have larger programs and it's a little higher than that. They utilize that funding to both recruit their youth ambassadors locally and to then pay their youth ambassadors with that funding. So they pay them. So I think we all know that engaging folks with lived experience and lived expertise in the program, we need to compensate our partners with lived expertise for their time and for being a part of that team. And so we compensate them with this YEP funding. Counties are now the ones who we give them the money, they then pay their youth ambassadors. And then YEP staff here, we provide onboarding, we provide training, and we provide ongoing support to the youth ambassadors and to the county project coordinators so that they can be as successful as possible in their youth engagement local level projects. So that's currently how the YEP program is designed. It's worked for us for a number of years. We actually really just started providing funding out to counties in the last few years during the COVID times. And we've learned a lot from the different program designs we've had over the years. And so now we're looking at, what have we learned? What have we heard from counties? How can we make this program work even better for the youth that participate and for the counties that participate? So I'm going to pass it over at this point to my partner in CFPIC at Margot, who's going to talk a little bit about the things that we are doing for future program enhancements, and then we'll open it up for questions and answers, or questions, I should say. Thanks, Margot.
Thank you. Hopefully we have some answers too. So that'll be well, you set that up beautifully in terms of, what's happened over the past couple of years with YEP. And we really have spent the last year doing some listening sessions with existing YEP counties to figure out how we can provide this service more seamlessly and encourage other counties to participate. And so one of the things that we're going to be doing is really trying to screen more counties in. So we have modified the application process to apply. We're going to kind of walk through that at the end and show you some of these pieces. And it's really quite simple for counties that are interested. And then additionally, we have enhanced the existing website. Again, we will show that. And we really want this to be an information hub. So people can go there to get the county application. If they're a potential youth ambassador, they can go there and get the application for that. And then we're also able to have resources. So as Juliet mentioned, part of YAP is really doing that cross-pollination of these great ideas across the various counties. So we don't want each county to have to reinvent the wheel on what youth engagement looks like in these different projects. So when something's working well for one county, we want to make sure we have it on the website. Other counties can go there and review it and then try it in their own county if it makes sense for them. So we're going to be building that out. So there's sort of a robust hub for people to have that information. One of the bigger changes that we're looking at doing moving forward is how we identify youth ambassadors. So I came from San Diego County, and we were very excited to be part of YAP. And we found just, some barriers when we were going through the process in terms of, how do we find these ambassadors? What does this look like? What projects are we going to have them work on? How do we get the money? There were a lot of questions that we had that took some time. And frankly, we weren't able to onboard as quickly as we would have liked because of that. And so what we're thinking now is that if we can identify the ambassadors for the counties up front, counties will then be able to really identify where their passion lies in terms of youth engagement, and we will be able to match ambassadors to meet that need. So YEP is going to recruit, train, support, and compensate this pool of statewide youth. Counties will be able to identify the projects that they're interested in working on, and then they can be matched with youth ambassadors. For those counties that are already working with YEP that have ambassadors, there's no need to not continue working with them. We'll sort of have a flexible hybrid model of counties that want to continue with their ambassadors versus counties that want to use the pool that will be created. And so, as mentioned, we talked about the compensation for youth. We really want to take that back and take that off the plates of the county. We've heard through those listening sessions that this is a burden on counties. There's delays in processing payment for youth. And as Juliet mentioned, in order to really appreciate the youth with lived experience, there's a couple pieces of that. It's compensating them fairly and then compensating them timely, right? So they're not waiting for a month or two to receive their paycheck for their work. So we will continue to do all of the support and the training, the onboarding, as those needs come up. And so counties will get that same level of support. There will be regular meetings with the counties and the youth ambassadors to not only work on those county specific projects, but overall, as Juliet mentioned, there's some work at the state level that can be done by these youth ambassadors. If we can go to the next slide, please. So we're looking at making the changes for the upcoming fiscal year. So July 1st, interested counties can really start opting in at any time. The application is now live on the website. We put March 1st here, but if there are counties that are interested and want to go ahead and fill that out, I believe it's available. And then simultaneously, we're going to start doing the recruitment of ambassadors once we have sort of a sense of how many counties are interested. So we'll be doing that as a parallel process. And then come July, we'll start onboarding both the youth ambassadors and the counties to begin the training and support. Next slide, please. So that is my contact information. I think many of you already have it, but we're going to send the slides out at the conclusion of the training today or the presentation. So you will also have this for your information, but feel free to call or text me if you have any questions about the program. So I will just pause there. I know we're going to look at the website, but does anybody have questions?
It's like we covered everything.
I know,
No
right?
We want to make sure folks know too, if you've got youth, I know if you, Tulare County is one of the ones that's on here, I know that has currently a YEP program. If you have ambassadors that you would like to be continuing working with, but you would also like them to be considered as part of the statewide pool as well, we would love for them to complete an application or an updated application, or let us know that they definitely would like to continue as an ambassador in the statewide pool. So, and also too, for counties that are currently existing in our program, we want to make sure that this new model works for you and that you're still interested in participating under the new model. So we're also asking counties, even if they are currently participating, to complete this completed abbreviated application, which we're going to show you in just a moment. It's really easy to complete. So that we can ensure that we have a good idea of the counties that are continuing with us, as well as the new counties who are interested. And even if you don't know yet, right? You don't know yet, you're like, I have to talk to a few folks. I don't know if my county is going to want to jump on board with this just yet, but I'm really interested in learning more, or I'd like to know how it's all going to be set up. You can still complete an abbreviated application, and you're not on the hook. It really just lets us know there's interest there. Margot will be following up. She'll be happy to have meetings directly with county teams about what YEP is all about. So we definitely we don't want to scare anybody away. We don't want people to think, oh, if I fill this out and then I change my mind, it's okay. We just really want to know if you're interested, and then that way we can provide you with as much detailed information that you need for your county to feel like it's something that you'd like to move forward with. And also too, it's an opportunity for us to know a little bit more about what you're thinking about in terms of youth engagement. So as we're recruiting those youth ambassadors, we can really be thinking with your needs in mind. So I'll stop now, and then I'll go ahead, and I think Andrea is going to show us some of those tools that we have on our website.
Where? Do you want me to walk through this, Andrea? Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the new website. If we can scroll down just a little bit, obviously there's the overview. There's some examples of some of the projects that Juliet mentioned. And again, we'll be looking to build out some of those resources moving forward. Contact information is there in the middle. And then at the bottom, there's two different options to enter the site. So the counties would click there, obviously, and then we'll kind of go through. There's going to be some frequently asked questions listed for people that hopefully answer a lot of the questions that we may get asked. And then at the bottom is going to be the link to the application. And as mentioned, it's very brief. It shouldn't take very long to complete. We'll get notified the minute you submit it, so you don't have to scan pages and email. It's all here and very simple. So we're going to be asking, basic demographic information, and then, why are you interested? How does this align with your county goals, such as your system improvement plan? And kind of what are you hoping to get out of it? So that's it. It's really, really straightforward. And then if we look, there's something similar for the ambassadors. We're hoping in the future we'll have some resources in here for them as well. Currently, I think there's just some acronyms for them, since we know in child welfare we tend to speak our own language. But here we also have FAQs for youth ambassadors, and then we have the same type of application. Theirs is a little bit longer. We're trying to get sort of like Juliet mentioned, that best fit and understanding what other obligations the youth have, so we can see what they're actually available to do, looking at their availability and then their experience in care. So again, we can try to match ambassadors with that best fit for counties. So this one's a little bit more in depth, but that's all we have right now. The website is a work in progress, and we definitely plan to add more in the coming weeks. Do we have any questions?
All right. Well, if there's no questions or even anything in the chat, let's check really quick just to make sure there's no questions in the chat. No. Okay. Again, I did drop in the chat. If you're interested in getting this presentation, since we didn't have you register, we don't have your email addresses. So if you're interested in getting a copy of this presentation, please do. So put your information there in the chat, and we will absolutely send this to you right after this meeting. Also, we'll get you, there's a link right there to our website where you can access all of those materials that Marco was just talking about. The other thing is too, it helps us to have your information so that we can follow up with you down the road, if to see what interest there might be in, or even if like you're not going to join, what kinds of information could we provide on our website that would be helpful to you in the future. One of the things we really want to do is provide, Margo was just talking about it, some great materials for our youth ambassadors. Like right now there's that FAQ, there's the acronyms list. We know, like she was saying, we speak our own language, but we're going to be housing some training materials on as well on our site to assist our youth ambassadors. And those will be open to anyone, whether you're part of the YEP program or not. So there's going to be materials that are going to be added to our site, materials about what counties have been showcasing some of the things that counties have put together. So counties can also access those materials as well, and help them with their youth engagement efforts locally. So keep an eye on our website. It's a work in progress. We're continuing to add information there. And if there's other information you'd be interested in having on our website, we'd love to hear from you about that as well. So we really hope to have a lot of folks who are here get in contact with Margo or us here at CFPIC to learn more about the YEP program and to join us in kind of this new relaunch that starts in July. And so we thank you all for being here this morning. We will be posting this video, I believe, on our website as well. So if you do want to share it out with folks who'd like to hear it directly afterwards, we will be posting this on our YEP site as well. So thanks again for being here today, and we look forward to working with you.
Bye, everyone.
You can go ahead and stop recording, Andrea.